to TLC, where we dive into the heart of our local community, its wineries, business, and real estate. Hi, I'm Troy Anderson along with my co-host Pamela, and we're here to bring you a new perspective on what's happening in our community. We're here today with our special guest, Dr Sneha Yerra of Yerra Family Dentistry. Did I say that right?
You did.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Oh, gosh,
That would be really embarrassing if you didn't.
I know.
Not at all. That's been my entire life.
I bet.
All right, Troy, so let's just jump into our first segment of Sipping on Success. What delights do you have for us this week?
Well, hey, I picked up a bottle of Browne Family Vineyards. It's a Grenache Rosé 2022 from their Veneers estate. I don't know what that means, but it sounds special.
It does.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, being as we're full on into summer now, I figured a little porch drinker.
I'm so glad you didn't say porch pounder. All right, so we've got a really nice rosé. It's a perfect day for it. The sun is shining. I know that you wanted to, you like a white or a rosé for this time of year, so we're glad we could provide that for you.
Something a little cooler, so thank you.
Exactly. You know, it's nice, hopefully nice and crisp and kind of that kind of clean bite of summer is kind of what I'm hoping for this one. But we'll
Summer
see.
in a glass.
Perfect.
Summer in a glass. I
Summer in
like
a glass.
that.
Yeah, I like that too.
So we're drinking out of our Woodinville Wine Country commemorative glasses today.
Yes.
Yep.
Support Woodinville Wine Country. So
All right.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Here's to a wonderful podcast and hopefully a great glass of wine. Right, let's partake. Let's see what we think.
All right.
Oh, that's nice.
That's very nice.
Nice and light.
Very nice and light, yeah. Grenache is a red grape, and it's typically lighter in color and body than other red grapes. So a Grenache rosé is going to be a little bit lighter than a Cabernet rosé.
Oh, okay. So is the process of getting them to this stage different then, depending on the grape, or is it just it's all the same?
So a rosé is basically they're crushed with the skins, and then they press it off right away. So that's where you get the little pink color is from the skins. The grape juice inside is white.
Right. Okay.
So
I like it. It's really, it's barely a pink, right?
barely,
It's like
very
it's just
delicate.
been touched.
Just
been
kissed.
Exactly. Exactly. It's I mean it's. Yeah, it has almost like a champagne-y feel to the colour. It's like really kind of delicate, a lot like the flavour actually. The flavour is quite delicate on this one.
Yeah, for sure.
I would say. I don't know, what do you think, Sneha?
Yeah, this is, rosés are something where it's that fine mix between a red and a white, right? And it's interesting to see wineries play with that, because it's just like, how long do you keep the skins in, or just what do you mix it with, which grapes? Because I've tried a few varieties now of rosé, and they've just always been so starkly different and all enjoyable, of course.
Right.
But yeah, I feel like it's just summer in a glass.
I think that's a really great way to describe. I know it's a really great way to describe it. I mean, we had a rosé a few weeks ago, and this is completely different from the one that we had. I think that was Jane's Winery that we had that one.
Yeah,
from.
it's a subsidiary of Matthews, I think.
Yeah, but this one it's delicious. It's light. I know you prefer kind of a drier wine, but it does have a touch of sweetness to it, but it's not overly sweet.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those, wine is typically an acquired taste, and I started with the sweet. I did the Moscatos and the Rieslings, and then just over time I just
Yeah, the Moscato's really sweet.
They're
that's
very
dessert,
sweet.
That's a dessert wine,
It
right?
basically is.
It's almost like syrup sometimes.
It's just like one little step away from an ice wine, I think.
So this is really good. So has anybody tried a frosé? So I came across this on my Instagram feed the other day, and it's like all about frosé, and I'm like, this sounds appealing.
It came across my feed today, and I glanced at it. So
okay, maybe we need to try that.
Where did you find? I don't even know where you find them.
The Alexandria Nicole Cellars, I believe, does them.
I have a feeling Chateau Saint Michel might do them
they
too.
probably,
Yeah,
they
I was like,
probably do.
okay, this sounds rather appealing. I might need to go try this. A rosé, yeah.
Gooey blender
I don't know.
drink.
Sometimes I'm a
Little
little
wine.
worried about brain freeze while
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
enjoying
Well,
my glass.
then I would say you probably need to sip, not slurp.
That's true. That's true.
And this is a good one. Well, and is this a winery that you've tried before, Troy?
Yeah, I've had Browne wines before. They're Columbia Valley. They're not necessarily. I don't believe they have a tasting room here in Woodinville. However, I picked this up at Costco.
They're
in Woodinville,
Okay, that's fine.
supporting local.
Still supporting
You're
local.
still supporting local, exactly. And it's a Washington wine, so
And
it's
you
a
know,
Washington wine,
we're
yes.
good on all fronts. I don't think we can say anything bad about it.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's also available at Hagen's. I bought it before at Hagen's, and so I think Hagen's has a really nice selection of
They do.
wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And cheese.
and cheese for
And
sure.
yeah.
Their cheese case is great. We buy their little samples sometimes,
Oh yeah.
and just
They're
have a
great.
different variety of cheese and wine.
Could go down a whole nother rabbit hole with
Oh,
cheese and
yeah.
wine.
I know. I know. We got so much going on here in Woodinville. I just love it.
I do too. I think this is great. All right, well, I thoroughly enjoy this wine, so I'm
Yeah.
going to enjoy continuing to sip on this while we carry on with the show. But I think we're just going to take a really quick break, and then when we come back, we will talk to Dr. Sneha about all things oral health.
Oh boy, here we go. This will
All
be
right,
great.
stay tuned. We'll be right back after this really short break.
Hey, homeowners and aspiring buyers looking for a real estate team who are about you and your community? Look no further than Tend Home Team. We are here to help you navigate the sometimes overwhelming world of real estate. From buying to selling, we've got your back. Let's work together to find your dream home or sell your current one. Contact us today, tendhometeam.com. Let's get started. Welcome back to TLC Podcast, Tend Life Community, and we're here with Dr. Yerra of Yerra Family Dentistry. And so we want to know, all about you. I'll just preface this with saying that your open house ribbon cutting was one of the better ones we've ever been to.
Thank you.
You had great wine, you had a lot of people there, and there was just a lot of energy around it.
Thank
So,
you.
that made me excited. So, just tell us a little bit about how you ended up in Woodinville and about what you do and maybe things you do differently and stuff like that.
Absolutely. So, we ended up in Woodinville. I just got that call from my broker, and he said, hey, there's a space that opened up. This is when I was searching for a great spot for my dental practice. I searched all over. So I live in Snohomish, but we decided we would go all the way out to Bellevue. That's probably about as far as we wanted to go in looking for a space. And we looked at everything, practice acquisitions, and just empty spots for doing a build out. And after a decent search, we kind of put a pause on it, and then my broker called one day and he said, I don't know if you're still looking, but a spot just opened up in Woodinville. And that's instantly my ears perked up because I love Woodinville.
That's good
And
to hear.
I said, really? Tell me more. And he said, this is not going to be on the market for very long.
Right.
So if you are still interested, I suggest you see it today. So after work, I ran out of the practice, drove all the way here and found the spot. Didn't even get to go inside the spot. Just drove into the parking lot and just looked around, and I was like, this is it. There's something about it, which you probably hear from your clients when they step into the home that they're going to buy. There's something that kind of washes over you.
Yeah, it's like an emotional attachment to it.
It
Right?
is, and it's so instantaneous. It's love at first sight is what it is. And so I just knew, and I put my face up against the glass to look inside. It was nighttime and I could barely tell anything, but I said, this is it. This is where I want to set up.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I just immediately signed a letter of intent. And I was like, take it off the market. This is mine.
Right
So you
on.
found the right spot, but you knew that Woodinville was probably the right place for you.
Oh, yes.
Because, tell us kind of what's the draw for you for Woodinville.
Yeah, so every time that we had come to Woodinville, it was to check out wineries in the food scene because especially my husband and I, we love food. We're driven by it. Food is life. And so we just loved it. The vibe was just so relaxing and very efficient and loyal. There was something about it. It's a little hard to explain, I feel, or to put it in words, but you could just feel that this was a community. This was not a small town feel, exactly. And I grew up in small towns, so I think I may have been wanting that, needing that without realizing it. And so just every time we came, we were like, yeah, this is a great spot. And so, you know, I didn't ever think it would work out to come to it because, again, it's also a smaller community, hard to get into, probably even in the housing market, you know, hard to join. But I think the stars just aligned and a higher power said, no, we're going to make this work for you.
Well, lucky for us. We're lucky that you managed to find something in Woodinville, and that benefits us and the community as a whole.
Thank you, yeah.
You know, so this was recent, right? You've been in that space for 6 months?
We've actually reached 8 months now.
Wow.
I know, time flies.
I know.
It flies, yeah.
Jeez.
That's amazing that you definitely have just kind of fit into the community really nicely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So how do you see kind of how do you envision your practice contributing to the overall oral health of our community and the residents here? I know it sounds like a bit of an ambiguous question to ask, but you know, oral health is actually super important, probably more important than people actually think.
Oh, yes.
So, you know, how do you feel that that's going to contribute to everybody in the community?
Yeah, so one wonderful thing about this community being so welcoming is they allow me to talk to them. And that's kind of step one, really, is just having a dental professional being able to have a conversation. And what I didn't realize when I went to dental school and shadowed dentists, you know, prior to and after the fact, a lot of dentists don't seem to have that communication
Lack of social skills?
They're a little dry.
And for some reason, I stuck out differently. People, when they talk to me, they say, oh, I can actually chat with you and not feel like you're judging me.
Right.
Which I love to hear because I don't judge. You know, that's the last thing that we need to do. I don't know what's going on in your home life, your personal lives. COVID happened. All these things happen. Who am I to judge, you know, with the state of your oral health care? I would love to learn and see how I can help in any way. But if I started with that, then no one would come.
Right.
And then if you were in, you know, a state of needing help and you're not getting it, it kind of gets worse. So, you know, that's just, I've always had this passion to help people.
That's great.
And just ease them into a more comfortable environment for their health. I grew up with my family members being in healthcare, so I volunteered as I don't know if they still call them this, but I was a candy striper in a hospital.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I wore the
apron
apron and the pink and white, you know,
Are they
stripes.
called candy stripers on this?
That's the
on
first
this
time
coast?
I've heard of it.
Oh, really?
So
Maybe it's a southern thing.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard of it in movies and things. I
Yeah.
wondered if it was a real thing, but clearly it is a real thing.
That's what we said in North Carolina, so, and which is where I'm from.
Yeah.
But yeah, since I was a kid, that's what I did. Is I volunteered at hospitals in my free time. I didn't, you know, do a lot of other just like video games or things like that.
Right.
I always wanted to help people, so started there and just kind of got into it. But yeah, my biggest passion is just making dentistry approachable.
Right.
Because that's what we need. I think so many people, whether they're young or older, they have this fear, and it's a very
Definitely
intimate
have
space.
anxiety about it.
Yeah, everyone does. I want to
So it's
change
not just me.
No.
My mom actually throws up.
Oh, does she?
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
Yeah, she's got some. You don't want to be her dentist.
Oh, I'm happy to help if I can. You know, maybe we can stop that.
I'm sure she'd appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
want to just attest to something to our listeners. When I first met you, it was at a chamber networking evening, and you were very, just so that people can get a sense of what Dr. Yerra is like. You just came into the group and just started chatting with everybody. You were very personal, very kind of easy to converse with. There was none of that kind of feeling. Oh, she's a dentist. Do I have halitosis? It was just.
Did I drink too much red wine?
Yeah, exactly. But just the way, I just want people to understand that what they're hearing on air right now as they're listening to this podcast is you. This is how you approach people and how you talk to people. I think you would probably agree with that, right, Troy?
Oh, totally, yeah. And total support of the community, too. I mean, we went to the open house and you had the wine from the networking event. I think it was Barrage Cellars.
Barrage Cellars, yes.
You bought local wine for your event, and that just warms my heart.
Yeah, so when you're looking for somebody who says they are a community dentist, I think you're it. Right?
You.
You're definitely on that right path to being the kind of go-to dental practice for Woodinville.
I would agree.
That event was also very fun to plan, and I'm so grateful. My family and I were so happy that you guys could attend it. But yeah, just we wanted to be strategic on everything. It's just we want to support local, so we got wine from local.
You had other wineries there too.
Yeah, there are, and we had Patterson Cellars as well, and DeLille. We had that, and so it was wonderful to like expose those that may not have had those wines at the event. Just to kind of give back to the community and say, hey, like they have tasting rooms here, so if you like what you've had here, go back out, to see them again. And even food, we went to Hagen's and talked with the cheese connoisseurs there, who are amazing, by the way. I wanted to buy everything.
They were obviously doing a good job that day. Do we still call them cheesemongers?
Cheesemonger.
Oh, cheesemonger.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. I guess that
I didn't know if that was just a British thing, but
I don't know. I think I'm afraid to just call someone to their face a cheesemonger.
It doesn't sound very polite, does it?
No.
Well, when you say you are about community, you definitely are. I mean, you've proved that already, with just kind of where you've located yourself and just kind of the way you've presented yourself to not the business community, but also to, everybody else that's ready for their oral health to be elevated. Let's go with that.
For
yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So we kind of touched on there that like Troy's mother doesn't like the dentist. She gets physically ill. I'm not a massive fan, I must admit. I do get a little anxious, more than a little anxious, but we'll have that conversation off air. Nobody needs to know what happens there. But, obviously you're creating a welcoming environment for people. And so what are the steps that you've kind of taken to ensure the individuals that are visiting your practice feel at ease? Because it's like you mentioned first, before we even said anything, that people do get really, some people get afraid, some are just a little touch of anxiety, but it's usually not necessarily a fun place to go. Yeah. So, how do you combat that? Because that's obviously a big challenge to kind of overcome.
Yeah, absolutely. So in our design, my husband and I, we scrutinized every aspect of it, down to the colors, the finishes. So you have come and you've seen it, but for those that have yet to come visit us, basically I chose a soothing color palette and a white, clean aesthetic, just to kind of help calm. There's not these bright in your face colors, so just to kind of help calm you as you walk in. And
it's almost spa like when you walk in through
it
the door.
is. It's I was going to say the same thing. It's like the front desk.
You walk in, it's like
and that's a little bit what I was leaning for, was just kind of that spa boutique feel, but not sometimes, the boutique vibe can be a little bit more conservative or just a little bit stuffy. So we didn't want that. So just a little touch of it.
No, it didn't feel that way at all.
But and then I made sure to put individual speakers in the rooms where I can control the music. So I love to ask my patients, what do you want to listen to? And so they pick their artists when they come in. If they don't like what's already playing, I'll have something, going, but I give them an opportunity. Tell me who your favorite artist is. I'll put their top tracks. I mean, Spotify is amazing, where
Right.
you can
Yeah.
do that. But it's actually helped a lot of our patients because they'll look at me and
Right,
they
'cause
say,
it's
really?
familiar.
Yeah.
I can pick my own music? And it's, yep, you sure can. And we've actually enjoyed it because we learn about new artists along
Yeah.
the way.
You also get to learn a little bit about your patient too by what the music they listen
Yes,
to. Yeah.
exactly. I will say we do cross our fingers for no heavy metal, but if we get someone that wants it, that's okay. We'll do that. But sometimes we're like,
Yeah.
oh, please, no.
That's interesting because I do actually wear my AirPods when I go to the dentist.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Okay.
and we still encourage that for those that need it, because I do understand if you do need dental work beyond a cleaning, nobody likes the sound of the drill, myself
Right.
included, so we always encourage that as well. But
Yeah.
just to have in the background,
You
Yeah.
just had a
We
chill.
When you say dental drill, yeah. She gets to wield it.
It's with great power comes great responsibility,
Yes,
right?
very true.
But yeah, we have blankets, refreshments. We just really try to put people at ease. But I think the biggest thing is my staff and I, we just listen to people. We don't interrupt. We don't stop you from telling you your story. We want to know what's your driving force. Like, what are your goals? Do you want to hear our recommendations? No, things like that. And so that's kind of our biggest thing, I think, is people feel heard when they come and see us, and that's step number one to just get anywhere, I feel. So.
That's great.
Yeah, not just like you're on a conveyor belt of
Right,
actions.
right. Which I know has been kind of a feeling, a generalized feeling for most when they go to very busy practices.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a perk of us doing a startup also, is I get to spend more time in these crucial beginning moments with my patients and really get to know them. And I love learning about their lives outside of dentistry.
Yeah.
And just catch up with them, especially when they come at their 6-month visit. Well, how was that vacation?
Yeah.
Or are you still on for your program with school? Are you still on track for graduating? Things like that. So that's been really nice.
It also probably helps put people at ease when you know a little bit more about them.
Oh yeah, I think so. I mean, I would love that for my own healthcare.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't I do that for folks coming to me for their health care?
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
yeah.
Maybe you need to switch dentists.
I'm hearing, we should get in there, get signed up before
We
she
have
gets too
openings.
busy.
Before she gets too busy. Yeah, exactly. And then we won't be able, we'd be like, but we knew her first.
There will always
take
be a spot
priority.
for you guys.
Oh, perfect.
VIP treatment.
Oh, I like
We
the
hope-
sound of this more and more.
We hope you get busy though.
Yes,
Thank
we do.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's
We
our,
are.
our hope for you, because I think if as soon as people meet you, they're gonna want to sit in that chair and say, yeah,
Oh,
she's my dentist. She's really good. So.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yes, for sure. So what, you want me to ask a question?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, it is my show.
It is your show. Do some work.
All right, so do you have any unique services or treatments that, can positively impact your patients, that, set you apart? I know you give away a free Sonicare, right, when you come
Yeah,
in?
so our new patient specials right now, so we have like a reduced cash pricing for those that want to
Okay.
utilize it. Includes a new patient exam, cleaning, and x-rays, or a whitening kit that they can take home and try, and we kind of go over the instructions for that. It's one that I've personally used, so I also make sure not to give out products that I haven't tried on myself.
I appreciate
So I
that.
get to
Yeah.
give them that personal experience there. And then, and a Sonicare toothbrush. That's actually been our more recent one that we've
Okay.
switched to. And my personal favorite, just because I think everyone should be using an electric toothbrush. Everybody. And I think it's just wonderful that we have the opportunity to give that as a gift, as a thank you for joining our practice and coming to us for your care. And people have been loving it. And so we're definitely going to keep that one going for a while.
Well, as an electric toothbrush user, that was a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
I would say that's a great gift to give.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
I love it.
Yeah,
Love
I mean, I've been using one for years now, but switching from a regular toothbrush where I had a tendency to like scrub, and then you
Yes.
erode away your gum line, right? So whereas with the electric one, you can't do that.
See, you already know so much. You should come work for me. Sorry, Troy.
So that brings me on to two separate questions. One, you talked about new patient pricing, but I'm assuming you take insurance. So I shouldn't assume, but I want to make sure that our listeners
we certainly
know that you do take insurance.
Yes, we're in network with many, many insurance plans. The reduced, it's a cash price for those that may not have insurance or don't want to utilize their insurance.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure the listeners understood that
Absolutely.
you have both.
Thank you.
It's just not that that you just have to pay cash for everything. So,
No. We
All
are
right.
in network with like almost all insurances, except for the Medicaid, the state ones, but at the PPO insurances. So the ones that you would get usually with your employer. Yeah.
So then my next question was to do with education. We just talked about there with the Sonicare toothbrush.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know that it's a good thing to use, but how does patient education play a significant role in promoting oral health care? So how do you go about that with the patients that come into your office?
Oh, yes. So for those that come into our office, we definitely, a lot of signs will become apparent when I look. And so I'll kind of pose the question, do you think you might be putting pressure on your toothbrush, or do you think you might be brushing with a lot of force, aggressively? And they'll say, oh, I think I am.
Right.
How can you tell? And then I say, well, there's a little bit of root exposure, recession, gum recession. And I just kind of start that conversation like, oh, yeah, you know what? I think my last dentist said that, or my hygienist said that. And so we start there.
Yeah.
And then I give them tips and tricks to try to help keep that from further progressing. And then of course, just flossing techniques, First of all, if they say they're not flossing, that's step one. We say, okay, let's try that out. And then if they say, no, I floss every day, then I say, okay, let's look at what's going on. Just to kind of help maybe reduce the buildup that you're having, or if your pocket depths are a little bit deeper. So we take the time, myself and my assistant, she's fantastic. We take the time to show them how to do it. It's not just let me tell you, it's let me show you. We have mirrors that they can hold, and I'm a visual learner myself, so we have dual screens in our rooms. So when I take a digital x-ray or an intraoral photo, because photos speak 1,000 words, I love to show them. I'll pop it on the other screen, I'll sit them up, and I say, follow my hand here. And I like to outline things. I show them, do you see what this is? Do you see how it's different from this? And that's what also makes them feel at ease, that I'm not saying, oh, you need 2 fillings, you got cavities. And they're like, well, what does that look like? I don't see it. I don't feel pain. A lot of folks, they think, oh, I must feel pain in order for it to be a cavity. And for us, we don't want it to get that far. No. Because then it may be needing further treatment. So I like to show them and say, hey, there's the start of something, maybe we can monitor it. Or you see how this is kind of dipped into the second layer of your tooth, and I'll show them the 3 layers of your tooth. And then they say, oh, I do see that. And I said, that's why we need to go ahead and take care of that sooner rather than later. But education is huge. That's how you can really confirm their belief in it as well. Because I'm not here to just sell things. I want you to understand why I recommend it and why it's needed. So
that's great.
I really appreciate that. I don't know about you, Troy, but when I go to the dentist, I'm always trying to look to see what's on the screen. Well, what are they looking at? Why do I need that done?
I know people will strain their necks to look at them.
To just see what's going on.
Laying in the chair, and they're looking at the screen behind me, and like talking to me in my ear, and I'm like,
it feels a little, like you're left out of what.
I get it. Yeah.
When you think about it, I guess you I'm going to speak for myself here, but like you feel like you're being left out of the conversation to do with your own healthcare, and there's something a little disconcerting about that. It's like, okay, what's actually happening? So I appreciate, that you're going to show people, okay, this is what I'm seeing, and in my expert opinion, this is what's happening, and this is the course of treatment, rather than, oh, you need a filling. Yeah. Okay, great.
And I always like to reassure them as I'm doing the steps, because there's many steps to our new patient appointment. It tends to be a little bit longer than your regular 6-month visit or whatnot. So I like to reassure them, I'm going to go over this with you. Like, bear with me for a moment. I'm going to call out some things to my assistant here, but I will show you what I'm talking about, just to let them know, like, I'm not forgetting about you. But there's some things that we need to do first off, and then happy to explain it. But in even the previous offices that I used to work at, I was one of few that would take the time to show people, to teach them why we do what we do. And I think that really helped them, accept a treatment as well, because they understood the need for it.
Right.
But yeah, education is great, and it starts. We've also done some educational opportunities with the local schools. That's been really nice.
Okay.
Yeah, so Wellington Elementary let us join them for their STEM fair. So that was really
Oh,
great.
that's
We had
great.
a big poster
Cool.
board, little anatomy activity for the kids, so they
Okay.
got to learn different parts of the tooth. So
That's really
yeah,
good.
we embrace those opportunities. So if anyone knows of anything, kids and adult, we're happy to learn about them. Yeah.
Well, I guess that kind of brings us on to that next question, like
That was
building.
our next question.
Yeah, kind of building. She preempted us.
Yeah,
Look at
I
that.
know.
Yeah. So I want to come back to one thing really
Sure.
quick before we go on to those relationship building things that you're doing in the community. But on the education portion, are there pieces of advice or tips that you emphasize more often than others?
Oh, yes. So definitely creating the habits, regular home care. Because there's only, whenever you come to us, I mean, we're going to clean your teeth, right? We're going to take off everything that's there. But it starts with the next day and just keeping up with regular home care. That goes so far. And just also being gentle. People always want to be aggressive. They say, oh, I don't want to undergo a cleaning like that, or I don't want to have to hear, oh, I have buildup. So they brush really, really hard, and the teeth don't like it. The gums don't like it. They have feelings too. They want soft treatment. So soft circles, that's what I emphasize. But yeah, just coming in regularly, whether we recommend the 3 to 4 month cleaning for some folks, or the 6 month that's more widely known, is trying not to miss that appointment.
Yeah.
And I get it, schedules, you have to reschedule, whatnot, but some folks, they say, oh, I don't know where I'm going to be in 6 months, so I don't want to schedule. And we encourage, well, let us get you on our books, and that way, if as it gets close to it, if you know something's going to be a little different, we can reschedule you, but at least we'll be around that time frame.
Yeah, we don't miss that
But
stuff.
life happens, I mean, I can't believe we've already been open 8 months. It just feels like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we can't emphasize enough just regular good habits. Yeah.
That's great.
And so what about the daily routine? What should
Brushing
you do?
twice a day,
Twice a day.
flossing twice a day, or at
Ooh,
least at the minimum
flossing
once.
twice a day?
I know.
Ooh.
It's
I don't
ideal.
think I
It's the
floss in
rule
the
of
morning.
2s. So twice a day for 2 minutes. That's
Okay.
the ideal. It's the easy way to remember.
Yeah. Again, the advantage of an electric toothbrush, it times it for you.
Yes, and they have pressure sensors. So actually, the ones that we give away, and for those that would like to purchase it, also we do sell them. They have pressure sensors on them. So if
Oh.
you're pushing a little too hard, it'll give you a little nod there.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Mine doesn't do that.
Oh,
Your
you have to
electric
come.
toothbrush
You have
or
to
your-
come to me.
Do you use electric toothbrush?
Yeah, I use a Sonicare, but it's old. It's like
Time for an
Time
upgrade.
for an upgrade.
Yeah.
Yes.
Funny enough, we might know somebody that can get you one.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. I was telling my wife the
I
other day,
wonder
like,
who that
"You
could be."
gotta go here. So,
Time for checkups.
time for checkups.
Time,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. Happy to help.
Okay, but let's head back then in that direction of the relationships with the community. So you said Wellington. That's a big thing. It can have a really big impact too on kids' lives.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. And then we've actually, we had someone come in asking us to support the Woodinville High School Drama Boosters. And so we had displayed one of their theater production posters in our window. And we put an ad in their programming.
Oh, cool.
And we actually, because I also am a theater fan,
Oh.
I asked my husband, do you want to go check them out? And so we went, and my goodness, are they fantastic?
They're good, aren't they?
They're
Really good.
so good.
Yeah.
I can see them on Broadway. This one in particular was a musical, and I could see many of them on Broadway in the future. I mean, so talented. But what was wonderful was even coming into it, presenting my ticket, people recognized that I was the dentist.
Really?
They saw
That's
my
great.
name. I wore my jacket with my logo, and they said, "Oh my God, you're the dentist."
Yeah.
And we actually, not only did we have just a wonderful, show to experience, we got patients out of it. So that was great. And then they brought their family members. So it just grew. And
Yeah.
they've been telling their coworkers, which was amazing. So just having that impact right there and then, where we kind of gave back to each other,
Yeah.
Yeah,
which was fantastic.
that's the way it should work.
Well, I think that's what community is all about, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
for
that's
sure.
really how it should work.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And joining the Chamber of Commerce was the biggest game changer. I mean, it's how
Oh.
we met, and how I've met so many other fantastic, businesses, business owners, or just, employees of fantastic businesses. And just, we're here to tell each other our stories. And that was just wonderful, just to help spread the word. And again, it's mutual, right? So I am telling them about my practice, but I'm learning about their businesses, and
Sure.
keeping that in mind for my patients also, to say, oh, actually I know a person or people. Yeah.
Right.
That's always good when you say, "Oh, I know someone."
Yeah, oh
Picking
yes,
out. Yeah,
yes. Word of
absolutely.
mouth
Yeah,
is so
definitely.
great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, personally, I'm sure Troy, you'll attest this too. You definitely are making great strides in the community and building that connection, which I think is super important for any business, but even just as a member of the
Well, you're
community.
just taking the time out of your schedule to actually realize that being a part of the community is important.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
So
I'm
I appreciate
here. I plan to stick around for quite some
Oh,
time.
good.
So
Good,
Good,
good.
good.
yeah,
We
definitely
like
want
having you
to
around.
have seeds, plant the seeds and grow. Yeah, with the community.
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad you're here. So, Woodinville is known for its thriving wine industry. Have you found any unexpected connections between wine culture and dental care? It's a really strange question, but and how do you incorporate this into any aspect of your practice?
Yeah. So first off, for those listening, I am also a wine and coffee enthusiast. So I am
You're in the right
human.
place.
Yes, I totally understand a coffee habit, especially. So nothing as far as unexpected. We do kind of learn these things for a long time. But yes, unfortunately, wine is acidic, and red wine especially can have that staining property. Same with coffee. Coffee is acidic and staining, of course. So what we, enjoyment in moderation, of course, is always widely accepted, right? But just tips to kind of help with that is don't brush your teeth immediately. I know you heard that right. Don't brush your teeth immediately after coffee.
At least
and
20
wine.
minutes?
30 minutes is
Okay.
good. Yeah. Rinse with water, and that just helps get the excess stain off.
Oh, okay.
But what people think they need to do is brush immediately. But what you're doing is now that acidity that's sitting on your teeth, you're brushing it into your enamel, and you're weakening your enamel. I know. You
Well,
heard a
good-
dentist say
Good
don't
to
brush.
know.
in
What
brush
certain
about
your teeth.
scenarios.
what about like drinking things out of a straw?
That's always great.
Okay.
But I don't know about wine out of a straw.
Well, I might
I'm
go
not,
down a bit
I'm not
quicker.
there yet. Maybe that
the
frozen.
frosé.
Yeah.
Get behind that.
Right.
I can't imagine drinking coffee out of a straw either. Not a hot coffee anyway.
I know, yeah. Hot coffee, it's a little hard. And I myself, I don't do it. I mean, yes, could it help? Absolutely. But I think hot coffee out of a straw is a little bit of a stretch for me. So I always rinse with water afterwards. I enjoy it. And also, having it quicker is better because you have pH changes in your mouth. So if you're taking that one coffee and you're just sipping it for quite a long time, that actually has more of a drastic effect than if you drank it on the quicker side.
Now, is that the same for sodas as well? So anybody that likes
Yes,
soda,
it
don't
is
sip,
actually.
guzzle.
It is.
That's what I'm hearing.
Just, have it a
Guzzle the
little
wine?
bit faster.
Oh, I don't guzzle.
Now that I can't condone.
Yeah, I was joking, but yes.
But I mean, the cup of coffee is like the 3 cups of coffee for me.
Yeah, just have some water in between.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good to know. I knew the whole 20, well, I thought it was 20 minutes, but the 30-minute rule of kind of before you brush your teeth, even after eating, right? It's not just drinking, it's after eating as well.
Yeah, depending on the diet, what
Right.
you're having. But, with less acidic foods and stuff, you definitely want to brush and floss soon if you
Okay.
can. But if you've had a highly acidic meal, then I would probably encourage waiting just so you don't weaken
Okay.
your enamel
Yeah,
anymore.
but I didn't realize you could just rinse your mouth out with water.
Yes, water always helps, and just sipping water regularly keeps
Yeah.
your mouth hydrated. It's good for your body as a whole.
You sound like my chiropractor.
Drink more water.
Drink more
more
water.
water.
Yep, I have my bottle of water right here.
Take a sip of wine, drink a
Yes.
sip of water.
That'll help. All right, so looking ahead, what exciting plans or goals do you have for Yerra Dentistry in Woodinville? And are there any upcoming projects or services that you'd like to share with our listeners?
Yeah, so we're very, very excited to be a sponsor of Celebrate Woodinville.
You're going to be at the concerts?
Yes, well, we'd like to come to the concerts. We're going to be at the festival. We're going to have
Okay.
a table. So definitely encourage folks that will be attending to come stop by our table. We're going to have swag to give out. We're going to
Oh, that's
raffle
fun.
off some prizes. And then again, I think it's just a great way to come say hi to me. And, let me answer some questions for you, not for me. Well, maybe I might have some questions, but, let me help put you at ease and see if you think this would be a right fit. I want everyone to come see us, but I get it. You want to feel comfortable. The mouth is a very intimate space, and I respect it. So, I'm not here to force people, but happy to answer questions, chat with folks. But again, we're looking forward to that, and so happy to help sponsor it and support Woodinville community. And then we've had those new patient specials that we love to promote, and we're hoping to very soon, quickly here, have some in-house whitening. So you actually come spend some time with us. It's a
Okay.
more potent whitening, but that way you just come hang out, and then at the end of the appointment
Listen
you're
to the
done.
music you want to listen to.
Exactly. Let me we'll have blankets for you, music. Yeah.
I think I might need an appointment. Let me know when the teeth whitening's ready.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's very quick. Yes, very soon.
And you're just like less than 5 minutes down the road from our
I
office.
I was
so,
going to say, I don't think we
no, we
let
didn't ask
anyone
that.
know where she's actually
Yeah, so
located.
let everyone know where you are located before we move on
Absolutely.
to.
So we are
yeah.
off of Woodinville Duval Road, where a shopping center, the Hilltop Shopping Center, is located in front of Italiissimo and the White Stallion. That seems
Yeah,
to
people-
be
Yeah.
People
the
know that
landmark.
as a landmark.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we have a Mercury coffee in our complex, so you can still get your coffee there. But yes, we are located right in there, so very easy. Parking is easy, so I know that for those
That's
that go
always
in
an issue.
downtown
Yeah.
can be hard. We have lots of parking, very easy to get to. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
And just down there from
Just
us.
up the
Yeah.
street
Yes,
from us.
it's
We're very
really
close.
easy
You could
to
walk
get
to us.
Well, let's not go
if you
that
want
far.
Woodinville Duval Road can be scary. People are flying.
Yeah, because it's not
Oh,
a
off
great
the
place
busy
to,
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, you're very conveniently located for
Very
anybody.
conveniently.
Downtown Woodinville's not that far away. It's
No.
an easy kind of road to get to and get to your practice. So
Absolutely.
there shouldn't really be any reasons for people to say, "Oh, it's out of the way."
Right.
It may sound like it is, but it's really not.
It's
the
not
access
far.
is really
we're
easy.
we're not far at all,
Mhm.
and yeah, and that's what I loved about it. It's just easy to get to from so many areas. Bellevue.
Well, it's the
and
backside of
Redmond,
Hollywood
yeah.
Hill, too. You just go out the
Mhm.
back way, and and you're right there.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Shall we find out what your hidden
Yes.
gems are from Woodinville? So we always ask all of
Oh,
our guests, what you love about Woodinville. You've mentioned lots of things, but do you have any hidden gems or places that you and your husband like to frequent in
Oh,
Woodinville?
definitely. I did want to just touch one more thing
Absolutely.
on our services. One thing that we also do that most dentists tend to do, but I'd like to actually kind of mention is custom night guards.
Oh,
What we did notice, especially with COVID, stress, anxiety, people are clenching and grinding their teeth more often than they think. And so we've been helping, kind of address that with folks. So I want people to know that they can actually come and let us evaluate them. It's very quick and easy, but we do offer that as a service. And more often than not, people are a candidate for it. I myself have one, so you know I'm not immune to it.
Right.
But did want to.
We
put
always
that
think
out there.
that dentists, well, you know, got perfect teeth, they do nothing wrong. I love that you're real and you tell us that yes, I do have a night guard, and yes, I do this.
Yes, yes, and I love ice cream, and I like wine and coffee, and you know.
She's a real human.
I'm a human. It's like dentists; they're just like us.
Yes,
you know,
exactly.
you see the folks in the magazines.
Oh boy.
I like that. Yeah.
But as far as my gems that I love, so far, now granted, again, we're big foodies, so I always welcome suggestions. But a couple places that we have been to, a few places, Bricks in
Oh my god, yes.
the Schoolhouse
yeah.
District. Oh my goodness, the food there has been fantastic. And the picnic table. That's been.
You've tried
The
the
picnic table is great. We got to go to lunch there.
Okay,
Yeah.
I haven't. We heard about it from Jake Wittenberg when
yeah.
he was on the show from King
Okay,
5
it's
News, and I'd never
great.
heard of it. And he was.
It's right there. You could walk.
Yeah,
so
we
why
can walk
haven't we
everywhere.
walked?
Well, we'll just have to go. We'll have
Yeah.
to go together.
Absolutely, yeah, okay.
So those have been. We've been a couple of times, and then Wooden Creek Kitchen and Taps.
It's
Yes.
surprisingly good, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. We've loved their buffalo chicken salad.
We did catering from them for
Oh,
an
yeah.
event. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And the food it was demolished.
it was demolished.
It's very good.
It went like that. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that must have
They
been really
even
good.
do a sushi roll, which you wouldn't expect. And I said, you know what? I have to try this because this doesn't seem the atmosphere for it.
Yeah.
But it
was
was
good.
good.
They've got those humbao things too.
Oh, do
Those
they?
Soft,
Oh,
soft
the
buns.
bao buns?
Bao
Oh,
buns,
bao
yeah.
buns,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what they're called.
Humbao.
I just eat them.
Maybe that's the noise that you make when you eat
Nom,
it.
nom, nom. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank
Sounds
you
like
for.
everyone needs to go to Wooden Creek then. They got Bricks. They got Wooden Creek.
Oh yes, well that Schoolhouse District is really really great. And then when we went to the business luncheon at the Walla Walla Steak Company,
Yeah,
that was my
fun.
first time there, and
Okay.
that was good
I
too.
missed that one. I was
That
on
is a great
vacation.
space.
Oh, you were on vacation though. That's nice.
No, I know, but I missed out on the Walla Walla Steakhouse.
Well, we'll just have to go.
Well, yes,
we'll have to
it
go.
sounds like a great plan to me. we'll do
eating,
our.
eating up the town.
I know. Well, isn't that the point of the podcast? Is to find out
Sure.
more about businesses like Yerra Family Dentistry and wineries and restaurants and so on and so forth. So that was all great. Where can people find you? We'll do this again at the end of the show, but give us your physical address so our listeners have it.
Oh, sure. So we are physically located at 15610 Northeast Woodinville Duval Road, and we're Suite 104. Our phone number is 206-703-3993, and our website, which will provide all the information, is yerrafamilydentistry.com. So it's just our office name, and Yerra is spelled Yerra.
Super simple.
Awesome. Yes. All right. We're going to take another really, really quick break,
Okay.
and then we're going to come back with our real estate roundup. So stay
Okay.
tuned, and we'll be right back after this short break.
Hey there, homeowners and home buyers. If you're looking for a real estate team who genuinely cares about your needs, Tend Home Team is here for you. We're not just focused on making sales, but on building long-term relationships with our clients and serving our wonderful community. Whether you're buying or selling, let us guide you through the process and help you achieve your real estate goals. Connect with Tend Home Team today and discover a better way to navigate the market.
Welcome back to TLC Tend Life Community podcast. We were just talking with Dr Yerra from Yerra Family Dentistry, and we were hearing all about her wonderful new practice. But now we're going to hit on our real estate roundup with Troy. So Troy, question of the week for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. It's been an interesting year so far in real estate world. Can you walk us through the current landscape and give us a mid-year update? What are we seeing with regard to pricing? What are we seeing with regard to interest rates? And what's the temperature of the market looking like?
Well, it's been a finicky year. It's been interesting.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah, it's low inventory environment, but we're seeing some properties sell quickly and other properties languish. It's kind of the sense of the market. And I network with brokers across the country. I network with brokers locally, and everyone, we're kind of scratching our heads a little bit going, what is going on with this market right now? It's can't seem to make sense of it. It's definitely, we're seeing prices plateau basically. So we've seen a drop in prices from May of 2022 where we saw the height of the market. We've seen that plateau out and actually rise the last few months. The median home price has gone up maybe, like 1%, 2%.
Okay.
So not drastic like we've seen in the past, but we're still seeing lower inventory environment in that the properties that come on the market that are in great condition and priced well seem to sell quickly, like within days. And then the other properties that might be overpriced, or there's certain segments of the market that are a little bit oversaturated when I look at inventory. When I take a neighborhood per se and look at it, some neighborhoods don't have any properties for sale, and other neighborhoods we've got 3 or 4 competing properties.
Right.
So, it's hyper local and, like I said, finicky. It just, you can't just say, the market in King County is doing this or that, or the market in Snohomish County is doing this. It's definitely neighborhood by neighborhood.
Right. So when somebody's considering them maybe putting their house on the market, they really got to consider kind of that pocket that they're in when it comes to pricing, though, rather than thinking about, okay, well, King County as a whole is doing this, or Snohomish or whatever. It's what's happening in that direct.
Yeah, it's a little more hyper local from the reports that I've been processing. We've seen low inventory environments since I got some charts in front of me here, but from January through June in King County, we went from 1,700 homes available to 2,189, and we're selling about 1,900 a month over the last couple months. So the inventory that's coming on the market is definitely selling, and we've seen in Snohomish County even lower inventory levels with higher activity, a little less overall volume, but higher activity in buyers buying and putting offers on property. Interest rates over the last week have definitely affected some sentiments. They've gone up about 0.5% from 6.5 to they were over 7 today. So,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, not good news really for home buyers. But the good news in that might be the silver lining might be you're able to find the house that you want to get into now versus a year and a half ago you had to fight tooth and nail to get in and maybe overpay for the property that you wanted, whereas now you can get in, maybe have a higher interest rate for a period of time, and then when rates settle out, who knows when it's going to be.
Potentially refinance.
And there's other options too. We can maybe buy the rate down. If you've got some extra down payment, you can do that, or ask for seller concessions if you can negotiate that in the deal, to where you can buy the rate down for a certain period of time or even over the life of the loan.
Okay.
To help it be more affordable.
Yeah. So what are we saying? The temperature of the market is a bit breezy.
It is breezy. That's great.
Like normally you say it's hot, it's cold, but it feels like it's a bit breezy.
Hot. No, it's definitely not hot. We've seen volume is off by 50%. So.
Wow.
It needs summer in a glass.
It needs summer in a glass.
It needs summer in a glass. That's going to be our new promo.
I love it. TLC, summer in a glass.
I'll buy this house and I'll provide summer in a glass.
Okay. Oh, now that has a ring to it.
Dear, you could put one in the bucket, and homeowners buy a bucket.
Our moving day survival bucket needs a bottle of wine for sure.
Yeah, summer in a glass.
Yeah.
Yep, I like it.
Got it.
We need to find another one for when it's fall winter.
Oh, that's when you go red.
Yeah, but of
A
course.
warm, cozy red.
Nice,
Yes.
deep, dark,
Yeah.
juicy.
Yeah. Anyway, off topic.
We're back to wine.
We're back to wine. All right, so the temperature of the market is breezy. Okay, and so prices are kind of flat.
And if you need specific information, I definitely recommend you reach out to someone who knows a local environment, knows a local area. Personally, I grew up in the area, grew up in Snohomish, so not too far from where we are now in Woodinville. We definitely sell all over the Puget Sound, specializing in North King and South Snohomish County. So
if you have questions, you
reach
can
out to
Troy.
someone. Yeah, definitely talk about it. That's conversations are free, so no obligation.
Yeah. And you might be surprised at what options are actually out there for you.
Right.
It's not always from what I, have gleaned in my short time in real estate, it's not always black and white in that, okay, the price is this and the interest rate is this. There are things that, there can be some creative ways to get you into a property, and you won't know unless you speak to someone.
For sure. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
All right, so on that note then, Troy, where can people find you?
TendHomeTeam.com is probably the best spot. And you can just Google Troy Anderson or Tend Home Team. We should come right up. Or if you want to call us, 206-504-3660.
All right, and then just remind us one more time where they can find your dentistry.
Oh, yes. So our website is YerraFamilyDentistry.com. And again, we're located at the Hilltop Shopping Center off of Woodinville Duval Road. And our phone number is 206-703-3993.
So go ahead and make an appointment with her because she's fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks
All
for
right.
coming on today.
Yeah,
I
thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to,
Yeah, of course.
Our
promote
pleasure.
and
And
chat.
so if you love the show, what do you need to do, Troy?
Ding the dinger.
That means subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on any of your favorite podcast platforms where you can find TLC, then obviously don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, we'll see you again on TLC, Tend Life
Thanks.
Community Podcast.
Thank you.
Bye. Hi there, podcast listeners. Are you in the market for a new home or looking to sell your current one? Well, we have the perfect solution for you. Introducing Tend Home Team, your go-to real estate company here in the Pacific Northwest. With over 20 years of experience, our team of experts know the local market inside and out, and we pride ourselves on being community-focused so you can trust us to find the perfect home for you and your family. Whether you're a first-time homebuyer or a seasoned homeowner, Tend Home Team has got you covered. Our passion for real estate and commitment to provide an exceptional service will ensure a stress-free experience every step of the way. So why wait? Give us a call or visit our website today and let Tend Home Team help you find your dream home. We can't wait to hear from you. 206-504-3660 or tendhometeam.com.